Yo, still bills, what's the dizzle, man? I had to, you know, I'm up here at the plantation waiting for some of my guys to get up so we can ride out to Sioux City, man. But peep game, man. I want to touch on the situation as it pertains to Art, man. That tweet that you put out, man. That pray for the Ukraine tweet, man. That was just really just disingenuous and dishonest, man. If it was coming from a place of genuine concern, that would be what's up. But you're only saying that shit to continue to propagate why Devin Haney is being denied of a fight because he's black. And in honesty is because his daddy, he allowed his daddy to have the negotiations for him and try to muscle him into a decision that he had already stood 10 toes on since he became a unified world champion after beating the man. You feel me? Like it's just real disgusting, man, how people, like, listen, man, black people are exempt from racism. Racism is a system about power and privilege. We are not exempt from bigotry. We're not exempt from that, man. That was a really insidious remark, a real insidious tweet for you to make, man. You cannot hide, you can't, it's real disingenuous to hide sympathy behind, or to hide deception behind sympathy. You cannot do that, man. So by way of what it is that you're saying, you should be feeling the same way about Alexander Usyk and an Anthony Joshua rematch, because they're looking to get that done before the Kambosos fight. By way of what it is that you're saying that Victor Postol should pull out of the Gary Antoine Russell fight this weekend and go stand with the Ukraine and show solidarity and brotherhood. Now think about that. If Victor Postol was to say, yo, I feel like I have to go stand with my people, he would be deemed a duck by you and every other social media activist. And I don't want to call y'all that, because I'm not trying to clap at y'all and dish y'all and discredit what it is that, you know, your ideology, because I harbor the same ideologies. I'm just not as insidious with my ideologies. I know how to articulate myself a little bit better. I'm a bit more mature in my politics, to where I don't need, you know, it's already controversial enough. This ideology, black truth, black liberation, is already controversial enough. I don't need to go out there and beat the drum harder than what it is that the drum is already being beaten when you come into this form of thinking. It's completely unnecessary, man. Now, I'm not saying go and beat the drum on behalf of the Ukrainians, because I'm not gonna do it. I'm not. Nobody, and not because I'm desensitized to the, you know, the destruction that's going on over there. No, my heart goes out to the people over there, man. That shit is fucked up. It's families and innocent lives at stake, because people want to just continue to be on this murderous regime that they're on. They want that land back a part of Russia, so they decided to make a move. That shit is not cool. When you do that, lives are at stake, not just the soldiers, the civilians who live in that city, who have nothing to do with the political landscape of what's going on. Just regular, everyday 9-to-5 people. Their lives are at stake. And even more so, their children's lives are at stake. That shit is fucked up. And kid, you know, it's about to be kids robbed of their lives over there. And you saw no better time than to speak on it than to try to push a narrative and, you know, in favor of Devin Haney. It's just real disingenuous, man. And it's fucked up when you ain't got nobody in your corner to tell you, youngin', that shit ain't cool. It's not cool. It's not cool whatsoever for you to say some shit like that. And for the people that's backing you, like, y'all niggas is like, come on, man. There's no justification for that type of tweet, my nigga. That shit was extremely inflammatory, man. That's not cool. My politics won't allow me to lend them a shoulder to cry on, because nobody lends their shoulder to us to cry on. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. So this isn't about caping for the Ukrainians. It's not about that. It's simply about showing empathy. It's simply about that. Now you don't have to, you know, retweet it and put it all down on your Facebook notifications or whatever and all. You don't have to do all that. You can stand in silence and be like, yo, that shit is fucked up. Like I am. I'm not about to make a whole bunch of Facebook statuses as to what's going on over there in Ukraine. I'm not gonna do that, but that doesn't mean I can't be sympathetic towards what's going on over there. And I damn sure wouldn't use that as a way to, I wouldn't use the war as a way to propagate a fight between, to propagate the fact that Devin Haney is being denied. Because he's not being denied. He had every opportunity that Lomachenko did. Devin Haney said, I'll do whatever Lomachenko was going to do after the fact, after the contracts and everything, after the WBO ordered the fight. He fucked up. He dropped the ball. He allowed his pops to get in on the negotiations and he fumbled it. Because Americans tend to think that we just it's our way or the highway. Y'all can't see how problematic that type of thinking is. So y'all, it's a non-factor to y'all. It's a non-factor to y'all. Because y'all want to push this narrative that Devin Haney is being denied. No, he's not. Charlo is not being denied. A lot of these black American fighters are not being denied and deprived of their opportunities to get big fights. They're not necessarily doing the road work to not, I'm not going to say deserve them, but make it to where it's undeniable. A fight with Danny Jacobs was undeniable. You dig me? Devin Haney is a fight that's undeniable, but his daddy dropped the ball. Why are y'all not banging on Bill Haney? Why is Bill Haney not the focal point of a lot of the content y'all create? Because he should be. He definitely should be. Why are you talking about looking at the locations in the Middle East when this man has already said, I want to fight in front of my people, my homeland? Y'all are saying nothing about that though. And that shit is completely insensitive, man. It's complete. For you to sit there and say that is completely insensitive, man. You know how many athletes, when their countries are in times of peril, they use that as fuel to get a victory for their country. It may not work for them politically, but through that athlete and that athlete being on the spotlight in whatever it is, whether it's the Olympics or whatever, their voices are heard. Their plight is heard. The announcers are going to speak to whatever's going on in their homeland. That's going to bring national and international attention to that nation. Lomachenko, to my knowledge, has never been a soldier for the Ukrainian army. That man has been boxing since he was a toddler. He was taken out of it to learn dance and then put back in it. He's a two-time Olympian. Two-time Olympian. That man don't know about busting no gun. That man knows about using his hands. This is what he does. This is who he is. He is a fighter. He's a fighter. So you telling me he has to stop doing everything that he's doing to focus on what's going on in the Ukraine, but you would not dare say that about Victor Postol fighting Gary Antoine Russell this weekend. You wouldn't dare do that. You would not dare do that. Like you, man, listen, man, the shit that you do, bro, is just like, yo, nobody can get away with doing that shit without, like, if somebody was to do that shit as it pertains to us when they was propagating white genocide going on in South Africa, how would a white man look, or just a regular white fan look, telling Isaac Chilemba, I think Isaac Chilemba I think he's South African, if I'm not mistaken, he's South African. Telling Isaac Chilemba he shouldn't fight, let a white man go and fight whoever it is that he's looking to fight, pray for South Africa. Now, granted, I get that, you know, no troops was ever sent to South Africa. No troops were ever sent there. So it's off base, but it's the same sort of analogy. It's the same thing. If it were pertaining to black people, it would be problematic. It would be demonstrative for them to say some shit like that. Y'all have to learn to respect people's culture and people's nationality, bro. Y'all have to learn to do that shit. You are not exempt from that because you're a black American. You're not exempt from bigotry because you are a black American. You're not exempt from any of that. Y'all, man, listen, man. You need some real niggas in your corner to tell you when you off base, man, and you way out of pocket with this one, youngin'. Like, you really need to get your head out your ass and just really be mindful of what it is that you put out on social media. Cause that ain't it. That ain't it at all. That ain't it at all. And you can't hide forever behind social media. Somebody's gonna come holler at you. With the shit that you do, man. You can move with a sense of decorum and still be about your people and your politics. This shit was extremely deceptive, man, and real disingenuous, and it ain't cool. And anybody justifying what it is that you said or what you tweeted, my niggas is here. Alright, man. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about it, man. Get your head out your ass, man, and get away from the goofies that's around enabling this type of behavior, nigga. Deuces.